In this tutorial video, you'll learn how to create a gradient background for the buttons on your Squarespace website. To create this look, we'll need to use just a little bit of custom code, and as always, the codes I'm about to share with you are listed underneath this video. I'm Becca from Inside the Square, and without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen to teach you exactly how to use these codes in Squarespace and how to make them uniquely yours. Let's get started. Here we are inside Squarespace. In this website, I've enabled the header button, and if we scroll down the page, you'll see we also have a primary button block, a secondary button block, and a people section with a button enabled for each individual list item. We're going to change all of those to have a unique gradient background. On the left-hand side of the screen, I'm going to select Pages, then I'll select Custom Code and then Custom CSS. If your website menu doesn't look like mine, hit the / key on your keyboard to search for your CSS panel directly. Clicking here, we can navigate there instantly. Now, the code I'm about to share with you is underneath this video, but let's go ahead and work through this together. I'm going to say background, linear, gradient, and how about we go from red to purple? And after the last parentheses, I'm going to say ! important. Now, what we've told the computer is that for every button on this website, including the button inside the header of the website, I want it to have a linear gradient background that goes from red to purple. And we've also added ! important so the computer knows that it needs to apply this code over any other background color it might see. If you look on the top right-hand side of my website, you can see that the header button is already changed. And if we scroll down the page, our primary button, secondary button, and each individual list item now has a gradient background. We can also check out the mobile version of our website. And if you take a look at the mobile menu, you'll see the header button there is changed as well. Inside Squarespace, you'll find a lot of different button types, but let's say you want to isolate one button at a time, like maybe just this secondary button needs to have that unique gradient background. If that's all we want to change, we can use what's known as a block ID for this particular content block. There's a free Chrome extension that I'm going to turn on right now. This is called the Squarespace ID Finder, and you can see here on the screen that it displays the unique identifier for every element on this page. These block IDs can help me target just this specific button. I'm going to go ahead and copy that. We'll turn off the extension. And here in my code, I'm actually going to list this button at the very start of the code. You'll notice I've said, here's the block ID, but nothing changed. We need to tell the computer that inside that block ID, when you see a button, give it this unique background. I want you to notice the secondary button has changed. No other button on my website has been affected. Now, this section right here is a people section, and it doesn't have unique content blocks. So if we want to customize just these buttons, what we need to do is use its data section ID. I just turned on the Squarespace ID Finder extension again so I can quickly grab this data section ID. I'll turn that extension off. And here inside our code, instead of the block ID, I'll add the data section ID, telling the computer browser that if you see this section and there's a button inside of there, make sure it has a linear gradient background that fades from red to purple. When we scroll up on the page, you'll see that that gradient background is not seen anywhere else on my website. Now this, my friend, is the tip of the iceberg. There are so many creative things that you can do with gradients. I actually made a free guide to go with this. I will link to it underneath the video. You can find it at insidethesquare.co / gradient. Inside this guide, you'll find a tutorial video that will teach you how to create your own unique gradient code. I also have a link to my 3 favorite gradient code generators and some fun codes for you to practice with. You can copy any of the codes directly out of this free guide, and here inside Squarespace, you can paste that code right into your CSS panel and make changes to whatever button type you'd like. Underneath this video, you'll find all the codes from this tutorial, as well as a link to my free gradient guide, so you can learn more about how to make unique gradients for your own Squarespace website. I'm Becca from Inside the Square, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, let me know in the comments, and if you have any questions about how to make Squarespace uniquely yours, let me know in the comments. I'd love to help. Thank you so much for watching, and most importantly, have fun with your Squarespace website. Bye for now. Good news, Squarespacer. We finally have an AI that truly understands Squarespace. Meet Custom Cody. Built specifically for Squarespace users and trained on every nuance of the program, Custom Cody is your AI-powered assistant for effortless, expert-level Squarespace customization. Available now at customcody.com.